All right, we're at resolution number 7. Well, anti-resolution number 7. Anti-resolution revolution. Welcome to God's Love for the Unlovable, Gospel Rant. I'm Dr. Bill Senyard with Gospel App Ministries. We're just taking the month of January to push against the whole resolution concept. It's a concept birthed out of independence. I can do this. I can work harder. I can be more like Jesus, and that's what I need to do. It's a spectrum, I get that, but on the other side of the spectrum is I can't do this. I actually need God's power in order to become more dependent upon Jesus. Two very different paths. Hey, listen, thanks for the positive feedback. It seems to resonate with a lot of folks. I get it. And we're going to return to Vagabond Diaries in February. Great feedback on Vagabond. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Give me some feedback. What struck you? Chat a little bit, dialogue, bill@gospel-app.com. But we wanted to do this solid 1-month spiritual formation power block anti-resolution because I think that it's sucking some of the life out of Christianity. It's a power pill for independence, not dependence, right? So think of it as a month of a special diet to wean you off of all that addictive stuff, all right? So, and it's a 3-for. We're doing 3 short shows a week. Bam, 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 because we need to get into that midbrain, yeah? And why now? Because it's New Year's, right? Welcome to Gospel Rant, New Year's Anti-Resolution Revolution Month. So yeah, I'm talking about New Year's resolutions. Don't do them. Stop. Take a breath. You don't see it in the Bible. I'm just saying, not that that's the proof text if it's not in the Bible, but there's no command to do it. Don't put yourself through it. There is commands for you to depend upon Jesus, depend upon the power of God, access the power of God. Check out Ephesians 3:14-21. Man, that's a great set of verses. But I give you permission to not do resolutions for what that's worth. You're welcome. Instead, admit you can't do it or haven't done it well, and pray to God to give you his power, the fruit of the Spirit. Again, Ephesians 3. In this book, Dance Daughters, a Bible study book, particularly for women, but men too, I identified 5 specific fruit of the Spirit, fingerprints, DNA of the Holy Spirit, that I see evidence in the lives of these 7 overlooked, underappreciated women, misunderstood women, and in the Old Testament. Why not ask God for one of those fruits? Right? We talked about sensitivity to God. The second Spirit-sourced fruit, fingerprint of the Holy Spirit, is the miraculous present experience, get this, of the favor of God. God's love innately loves the unlovable, the unloved, and the unlovely. That's all of us on any given day if we were just a little bit honest. But that doesn't mean, get this, we may not be experiencing it. We have it, Jesus purchased it for us, but we may not be experiencing it. Not God's fault, it's our brain's fault. Nothing has hurt us more than relationships, and so it's developed these defensive mechanisms to protect us from being hurt. That's what it does. It's doing a great job for most of us. But it's preventing us from experiencing love from other people and from God. All right? Paul is so sophisticated in Ephesians 3:14-21. He seems to be aware that none of us can truly experience real love from Jesus. We have it, Christians, but we're not experiencing it unless we first, get this, critical, we first intentionally access the power from God. That alone can make us feel the height and width and length and depth of the love of Christ. Did you know that? Your brain has been so abused by love gone bad, it's developed these, oh my gosh, highly fortified barriers to protect us from being hurt again. It's how the Creator made us. These inner working models are rooted deep in our subconscious, so it's not like you can turn switches on and off. Your reason, your choice, your prefrontal cortex has virtually no effect on it. You can't just choose to go, oh, I'm going to feel the love of Christ. You actually need power from God to open up this rusted door. But good news, God can begin to make you begin to grasp the height and width and length and depth of the pre-purchased love of Christ. Ephesians 3. What can you do to facilitate it? You ask. That's what Paul was doing. We have a model. It's that simple. That's what Paul was doing for the Ephesians. Hannah in the Old Testament, one of the ladies in my book, the barren, once barren, became the mother of the kingmaker prophet Samuel. And she seemed to be aware that her well-being, her sense of worth, favorability, and even her very identity came first and foremost from God versus, oh my gosh, read the story, versus her very difficult circumstances. Yeah? As we read her story, we can begin to see the Spirit's fruit of the miraculous present experience of the favor of God. And she went from being a very troubled lady who felt unfavorable to a lady who was just filled with joy. And by the way, filled with child. Don't go there. Or maybe you will. Hannah seemed to know how dependent she was upon God for that. That made her very, very special. A model for relationships between women and men with God. She doesn't do New Year resolutions. She looks up into the very face of God, we're told. And we can do that too. Yeah? And by the way, I think I mentioned there's going to be a second Dance Daughters to the Most High book coming out soon. Follow me on my author website, drbillsenyard.com, to know when it is published. If you have teens and tweens, check out my Quest series, fantasy series, the Kingdom Quest, award-winning, The Tale of the Unlikely Prince. Check it out. A lot of fun. Hey, I'm Dr. Bill Senyard. If you want to learn more, go to gospel-app.com. Let me know what you think. Bill@gospel-app.com. Love to get feedback. You know, I prefer good feedback, but I'll take bad feedback. Take heart, child of God.